Today's gospel reading tells the story of Peter's successful and then unsuccessful attempt to walk on the water. And I thought to myself, I would like to use a picture that would illustrate this gospel reading. And if I did so, what picture would it be? Does anyone have an idea what picture would best describe and illustrate today's gospel reading? I'll give you a little hint. It is a picture of an insect. There is an insect that describes very appropriately the message of this gospel reading, and it's that, the bumblebee. Now that's the frontal shot of the bumblebee, and there should be a side shot of the bumblebee. And the bumblebee describes very appropriately the gospel message today. You know what happens is, in the primary assembly plant for General Motors up in Detroit, Michigan, when you walk into this huge assembly plant and you walk through the garage door, on the left side, on the wall itself, is this saying. It says that according to the theory of aerodynamics, as gleaned by wind tunnel experiments, the bumblebee, because of the relationship of the size of its wings to its body, is unable to fly. However, the bumblebee, being unaware of this theory, flies anyway. And that's the key point of today's gospel reading, that Peter started to do something he had never done before, and then he said to himself, I've never done this. And then he also ascribed to a very dangerous phrase, and it made him sink. Let's take a look at today's gospel reading. Let's look at the gospel, verse 29. Now, the full text of the gospel is Matthew 14, verses 22 to 33. This is verse 29. Take a look at it. Peter said to him in reply, Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you in the water. And Jesus said, Peter got out of the boat and began to walk on the water toward Jesus. You see, some people ask the question, did Peter have faith in Jesus? And the answer is yes. He had so much faith in Jesus when Jesus says, come. Peter got out of the boat and began to walk on the water towards Jesus. If Peter didn't have faith in Jesus, Peter would have said what? Jesus, I can't swim. The water is deep, I am short, I'm not going to get out of my boat to come to you. But he started to do something because he had this faith in Jesus, and when he started to walk on the water, he should have said to himself, look, Mom, Dad, no hands. I'm doing something I've never done before in my life. He should have got really excited, and then he should have said this, if I can walk on water, there's a whole lot of other things I can do in life. I will try new things that I've never done before because I will probably be successful. But then something happened, something went wrong for Peter. Let's take a look at verse 30. But when he, that's Peter, third person singular, but when he saw how strong the wind was, he became frightened. And beginning to sink, he cried out, Lord, save me. What went wrong for Peter? Did Peter say to himself, I can't walk on water, so he started to sink? That's not the case, because Peter was already walking on the water. It doesn't say if he traveled 5 feet or 50 feet or 100 feet, but Peter, in fact, was walking on the water. Did Peter lose faith in Jesus Christ? The answer to that is no, because when he started to sink, he said, Lord, save me. He realized that Jesus was the only one who can save him. He still has faith in Jesus. He said, Lord, save me. So what went wrong for Peter? Something, in fact, went wrong. Does anyone know what it was? Okay, he took his eyes off Jesus. Pardon me? Exactly right. He lost faith in himself. He had faith in Jesus, but he lost faith in himself. When you lose faith in yourself, then you become paralyzed. You can't do anything. You see, Peter unfortunately subscribed to 3 various dangerous words. They say there are 185,213 words in Webster's dictionary. But there are 3 words in Webster's dictionary, when you put those words together, they are lethal. They destroy the human spirit. The pronoun I by itself is very mild. The verb can, the adverb can't or not, and the conjunction can't. And when you subscribe to the theory, I can't, that destroys your ability to try anything. And what happened to Peter is this. He started across the water, then all of a sudden he said, I can't do this. And he started to sink. That's unfortunate, because he in fact was doing it. You know, what you want to say to yourself is the next time you wake up and you say to yourself, I have to clean up my grammar. I have to do things better. I want to get rid of some words I've been saying in my vocabulary, my lexicon. I get rid of some of the words. The next time you clean up your grammar, you want to do this to the word I can't. You want to do this. You want to do that. You see, that's the message today's gospel reading. Peter was doing really well, but all of a sudden he said to himself, I can't. And when he said, I can't, he started to sink. You know, the bumblebee is an amazing little creature. Because the bumblebee, supposedly, according to the theory of aerodynamics, he can't fly. But he flies anyway. And you know what's going on right now? There are 1,000 little bumblebees on the other side of these church walls waiting for you guys to exit. Because when you exit, they're flying around out there and they're looking for someone to sting. You know why they're going to do that? Because the guy who was supposed to tell them they can't fly never got around to it. Nice going, pal. And since he never told them they can't fly, they fly anyway. So if someone tells you you can't, don't buy into that I can't. Peter said I can't, he began to sink. All Peter had to do is when Jesus said come, and he started walking on water, he should have got excited and said, look, I can, and kept going. The bumblebee. The next time you look at a bumblebee, instead of trying to step on him and really squeeze him into the ground, he hadn't done anything to you. But before you do that, take a look at him and say, bumblebee, you teach a very valuable lesson about life. They say you can't fly, and you decide to fly anyway because you say you can when they say you can't.